It looked like Caitlin Clark just gifted her entire team her signature merch, but it wasn't just the team. Every fan that shows up to Gamebridge tonight will get the first release of Caitlin Clark's signature merchandise. About the Indiana Fever not showing love to Caitlin Clark, because to me, it took too long. Well, guess what, guys? Now we all know why it took.
A war is being waged for the soul of women's basketball, but this war isn't just being fought with crossover dribbles and three-point shots. It's being fought in corporate boardrooms, on social media feeds, and in the hearts and minds of millions of new fans. At the center of it all are two names, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. While everyone was watching the court, the real battle began the moment Nike unveiled a simple design that would send the internet into a complete meltdown, revealing a much deeper rivalry than anyone could have imagined.
Like Gamebridge. Gamebridge is now a Caitlin Clark thing. There's now a whole Caitlin Clark thing outside of this stuff. I expect shirts on every single seat once her apparel is out. I don't know. I don't know what they'll do. I would hope they do something, but I have no idea. I have no idea. That costs a lot of money. That one's on Herb Simon. That one's on Herb Simon.
The bombshell dropped with little warning. The official Caitlin Clark Nike logo was here. Dubbed the CC22, the design was sleek, minimalist, and to many looked more like the emblem of a high-fashion luxury house than a basketball superstar. Immediately, the internet split into two warring factions. One side praised its elegance, comparing it to the iconic double Cs of Chanel and declaring it a genius move by Nike to position Clark not just as an athlete, but as a global luxury brand. But the other side was just as loud, calling the logo lazy, uninspired, and a boring corporate stamp that failed to capture the electricity of her game. This simple logo was no longer just a logo, it was a symbol of the deep division she inspires. But what nobody knew was that this logo was just the tip of a multi-million-dollar iceberg.
I've been telling y'all to stay patient. I've been telling y'all that Nike takes their time, that A'ja Wilson's shoe deal was 2 years in the making, that Paige Beckers had PEs, not her own signature shoe, and that Caitlin Clark's was 100% coming. And people kept saying, oh, Nike fumbled the bag with Caitlin. It has to get out there. Nike fumbled the bag. No, they didn't. It takes time. She's got to develop a whole freaking product line. But they just announced, breaking news right now, we have a logo. That is the official Caitlin Clark Nike logo. And it's not just that. I mean, this is cool. Nike has just announced that a signature product line will be dropping soon with signature shoes.
For months, the narrative had been screaming that Nike fumbled the bag with Caitlin Clark. Critics claimed they were too slow, unprepared for her meteoric rise, and were being outmaneuvered by competitors. But that was all a smokescreen. Behind the scenes, Nike was orchestrating one of the biggest deals in women's sports history. The truth was finally revealed, a staggering 8-year, $28 million contract. This wasn't just a shoe deal, it was the foundation of an empire. Nike wasn't just giving her a product line, they were building an entire brand division around her, a process that demands meticulous planning. They weren't fumbling the bag, they were building a fortress, and they were about to show the world just how powerful their new queen really was.
It was really unique, I think it's very creative for Caitlin Clark to come up with something like this. And I just enjoy all of it, it's like aura.
We love it!
It's simple, yet it speaks a lot.
I love it so much.
I'm a big fan of it. Simplicity is the best. I like the design. Nike always does great with design, so I'm a huge fan of the logo.
It looks really cool. I was really excited to see it last night, and it looks like we're going to get shirts with it on it, so that's pretty exciting too.
I like it. I like how it incorporates the CC.
I love it. Double C's. Let's go, Caitlin!
Before her signature shoe was even designed, Nike decided to test the waters. They gave Caitlin a special Player Edition colorway of the iconic Kobe 5 Protro, decked out in Indiana Fever colors. It was a simple release, a nod to her greatness. What happened next was anything but simple. The shoes, priced at $190, were released online and vanished in minutes. Not hours, minutes. The digital storefronts were a ghost town. Instantly, pairs began appearing on resale sites like eBay for $400, $500, and sometimes even more. This wasn't just hype, it was a market-shattering phenomenon. Caitlin Clark's Midas touch was real. Anything she touched turned to gold, and it proved, without a shadow of a doubt, that the demand for her brand was an unstoppable force of nature. But while Nike was counting its money, its biggest rival was plotting a counterattack.
How do we have an Angel Reese shoe before a Caitlin Clark shoe? It's almost like Nike forgot about Caitlin Clark and just moved on to Juju because they announced stuff about her signature shoe coming out in March with details of colorway, style, price, the whole 9 yards. All they've done with Caitlin Clark is give her a colorway in the Kobe shoes and just calling them like the Caitlin Clark Kobe's. But even just that, they sold out in less than a minute. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm happy for Angel Reese. She got her signature shoe and was featured on the 2K26 cover with the signature shoes on, but I'm just like...
The question that echoed across social media was, how does Angel Reese have a shoe before Caitlin Clark? It was a narrative designed to make Nike look foolish, but it was based on a massive lie. Angel Reese isn't with Nike. She's the new face of Reebok. In a brilliant strategic move, Reebok's president of basketball, the legendary Shaquille O'Neal, signed Reese to a multi-year deal to make her the brand's leading lady. He was building his brand around Caitlin's biggest rival. Her signature shoe, the Reebok Solution, was their first major shot across the bow in this new sneaker war. It was a direct challenge, a declaration that there was another queen in the game, and she wasn't going to wait in line for the throne.
Saw today that it was announced that Angel Reese will release her first ever signature sneaker with Reebok on September 18th. So it says the Angel Reese 1 Diamond Dust, made for the spotlight, available on 9/18. And as you can see here, it looks like there's 2 colorways that are going to be released, an all white colorway and a pink colorway. I love that all of the girls are releasing pink shoes. Like Asia has a pink shoe, Sabrina has a pink shoe. But this is big news for Angel, and I know that we've been talking about the rookies and their signature shoes, and everyone has been waiting on.
Angel Reese knew her role in this saga, and she decided to lean into it completely. She publicly embraced the villain label that fans and media had given her, claiming that the league needed personalities like her to grow. She wasn't just going to play the part, she was going to perfect it. This persona was on full display during a game against the Indiana Fever when she delivered a flagrant foul to Caitlin Clark's head, an act that was dissected and debated for days. To some, it was a dirty play. To others, it was a competitor's fire. But to Angel, it was just another day at the office, reinforcing her image as the unapologetic, aggressive counterpart to Caitlin's cool, calm demeanor, and she was making it clear she wouldn't back down.
Angel Reese's first signature shoe is set to release. It's set to release. Now, it's not a bad shoe. This is my only problem with it. The colorway. Like, I just feel like they could have had a little more fun with it. You know what I'm saying? Especially being that it's for the All-Star game. Like, why do a basic white shoe? Man, you could have did so much more to make this shoe pop. And y'all just like, nah, we just gonna do a regular.
With 2 superstar athletes came 2 completely different brand philosophies. Nike was crafting an image for Caitlin that was all about precision, skill, and an almost untouchable level of greatness, reflected in her clean, luxury-style logo. Reebok, on the other hand, was marketing Angel Reese as the people's champ, raw, authentic, and defiant. Her Reebok Solution shoe was promoted with a gritty, underdog energy. However, just like Caitlin's logo, Angel's shoe faced its own wave of criticism. Many fans called the initial all-white and pink colorways basic and unimaginative, questioning why her debut signature shoe wasn't bolder and more reflective of her fiery personality. It seemed that no matter what these 2 stars did, they couldn't escape public scrutiny.
Caitlin Clark is simply the talk of the internet today. Her and Taylor Swift broke the damn internet. Yes, bro. And for all the people that was hitting me up about Caitlin Clark's signature logo, somebody said it looked like Chanel. I said it looked like Gucci. But whatever it is a luxury sports brand. I can't think of very many luxury sports brands. Guys, do you, like, I'm a fashion guy. And I understand what Nike is doing. Nike is trying to get into the luxury brand style, the luxury department style, almost a little bit getting out.
This firestorm of opinion isn't just happening organically. It's being carefully manufactured by media outlets who understand that conflict creates clicks. When outlets like Sports Illustrated run headlines claiming fans hate Caitlin Clark's new logo, they are often engaging in a tactic called confirmation bias. They scour social media for a handful of negative comments and present them as the consensus, ignoring the thousands of positive reactions. This creates a false narrative of widespread outrage, pitting fans against each other and fueling the drama between Clark and Reese. It's a calculated deception designed to keep the rivalry at a boiling point because a divided fan base is a more engaged fan base.
She seeks that attention, right? And another thing is, it's obvious she's jealous of Caitlin. Every interview, every tweet, everything is about Caitlin. I haven't yet to see Caitlin even respond to her yet. Have y'all?
No.
So when you asking me like, yo, I get it, everybody's watching women's basketball now, who's the real reason? Well, yes, you are right. Reese has a small amount of that, right? But the other real credit goes to Caitlin. Not just because what she's doing outside the court and she's waving her hand, doing all that. It's because she's giving buckets in basketball, right? And she looks like Steph Curry. And that's simple.
Just when the rivalry seemed confined to the WNBA court and sneaker stores, it exploded onto the world stage with news that shocked the entire country. Caitlin Clark was left off the 2024 USA Olympic basketball team. The backlash was immediate and immense. It became a leading story on national news, debated by politicians and lamented by millions of fans who felt the league's biggest star was being deliberately snubbed by the old guard. The decision was seen by many as a slap in the face, not just to Caitlin, but to the new generation of fans she brought to the sport. It was a controversy that transcended basketball, becoming a symbol of the immense cultural power she now wielded.
People are selling the new Caitlin Clark Kobe's for double, sometimes more than double what they actually paid for them. So it's been estimated there's about 13,000 of these shoes that were released from Nike, and literally within minutes, all sold out for about $190 a piece. People knew these were going to be hot, so resellers were picking them up on the cheap and now doubling and sometimes tripling their profits on a place like eBay. So if you were lucky enough to get a pair of these, put them up on eBay, you're going to sell them for around $350, $400 minimum, depending on the size. And that's just kind of the way it works right now with anything Caitlin Clark related. The stuff is really hot. Watch for Caitlin Clark stuff because it sells off the shelves, especially on eBay.
While opinions and narratives can be twisted, numbers do not lie. And the numbers behind Caitlin Clark are staggering. The Indiana Fever, once a team with minimal national attention, now sells out arenas across the country. Her games are shattering viewership records on major networks, with millions more tuning in than for any other WNBA matchup. The league itself was forced to upgrade to charter flights, in large part due to the logistical and security chaos her celebrity was causing in commercial airports. She isn't just a popular player, she is a one-woman economic stimulus package for the entire league. This undeniable, quantifiable impact is the ultimate trump card in any debate about her value.
How come Caitlin Clark can't have anything without some negativity? Sports Illustrated posted this, but I actually read the article. It's just hater. He used random people's opinions on X and Twitter. Fans don't like her logo. No, you don't like the logo. You just found some random people that agree with your opinion. This is called confirmation bias. I can't stand people like that. What they do is they find anybody who confirms their bias. So what they do Google searches and things like that instead of just being objective. No, I think most people like the logo.
Beneath the flashy headlines and public drama lies a fascinating psychological battle. Caitlin Clark has adopted a strategy of near-total silence regarding the rivalry. She rarely, if ever, says Angel Reese's name, keeping her interviews strictly focused on her team and her performance. This creates an aura of being above the fray, making her appear unbothered and solely dedicated to the game. In stark contrast, Angel Reese often engages with the narrative. She speaks about being the villain, alludes to the rivalry in interviews, and is active on social media. This dynamic has fueled the public perception that Reese is the one obsessed with the feud, while Clark remains the unshakable protagonist. It's a masterful psychological game, and it's playing out in real time.
If you are hoping to get your hands on the Caitlin Clark version of Nike's Kobe Bryant sneaker, you're out of luck. They are out of stock. The WNBA star teamed up with Nike for a player edition of the Kobe 5 Pro Tro, decked out in Indiana Fever colors. You see them on your screen. They dropped at 10 a.m. Monday. and they sold out before 11 a.m. In fact, in just minutes. The $190 kicks are already showing up on the secondary market at close to double the retail price.
Caitlin Clark's new Kobe Bryant 5 sneaker sells out online in minutes. There hasn't been this much calamity over a white woman's shoe since Cinderella and the glass slipper.
My problem with Angel Reese is that when we talk about an attitude can make somebody unattractive, her attitude and just her demeanor really rubs me the wrong way. I'm not on the court, so maybe Caitlin Clark has said something crazy to Angel Reese. I have not heard it. Angel Reese, whenever she has the opportunity to throw a shot, she does, and she makes herself look like an ass. They're watching the WNBA because of one person. It's okay. A talented player, maybe you and Caitlin Clark will share the lead down the line, but most people are watching games because of Caitlin Clark.
This is no longer just a rivalry between two talented players. It is a battle for the crown and the very identity of the new WNBA. On one side, you have Caitlin Clark, the quiet revolutionary whose transcendent skill and marketability threaten to reshape the league in her own image. On the other, you have Angel Reese, the defiant force of nature whose powerful personality and unapologetic swagger demand equal billing. This isn't just about who sells more shoes or who wins more games. It's about which philosophy will define the future of the sport. Will it be a league built on pure, undeniable talent, or one driven by bold, unforgettable personalities? The war has just begun, and it's unclear who will ultimately be left standing.